Hello, friends, and welcome. I'm Stephen Sloan, VP of Media here at Buildings. I know everyone is busier than ever these days, so we greatly appreciate you tuning in. This year has been a doozy, to put it mildly. But fortunately, we here at Buildings have been occupied since February with what you're about to see, the big reveal, if you will. It was then that we began the first steps towards a re-energizing of the brand. It all started with hours and hours of focus groups with readers and advertisers. We then distilled all that information down, and with the help of our creative agency, Thorburn, crafted a new vision for Buildings. We've been creating content for 114 years. 114 years, that's a long time. That's a rich history that we wanted to respect, but refresh. When I took over as brand director for Buildings at the start of the year, the first thing I did was call the man I'm about to have join me on camera. I really wanted him to join us full-time as our editorial lead. This fella is not only one of the best people I've ever met, he's also a passionate advocate for the design of buildings and how they and their operation impacts lives. He's also darn handsome and has grown quite the beard during the pandemic. Robert Nieminen, will you join me up here on the screen for a minute?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Stephen. You're too kind, my friend, too kind.
Well, thanks, Rob. We are very happy to have you part of the team. Rob's history with our parent company, Staymates, goes back many years. He's been on the editorial side for Interiors and Sources magazine for many years, joined us full-time as well. So he's heading up efforts on both brands. So welcome.
And thank you. It's great to be back. I really appreciate that, Stephen.
Sure. All right. Well, given everyone's time is very valuable, let's get on with it, and we will kick off with a short video.
Well, all right. As you just saw in that video, Buildings is heading in a new direction, and we are very excited about it. As we embarked on this rebranding journey, we discovered that the answer to the question, where do we go from here, was found by looking towards the past. As Stephen noted in his introduction there, Buildings has been around for more than a century, and there aren't many others who can make that claim. It gives us a rich history to draw from, but it also lends to our credibility. We know what makes people who love buildings tick, and our experience in this industry is unmatched. That puts us in a unique position in the market, which, quite frankly, we haven't really capitalized on very well in recent years, but that's about to change because we have a renewed focus on our passion for buildings that we share with our readers and with you, which will only build the trust that they have in us. So if you'll indulge me for a moment, I'd like to read our new ethos statement because it communicates our new direction so clearly. Passion. We're true building geeks. We love the way buildings work and the way they enable work. We love the way they connect people, both in their creation and maintenance and in their daily use. We love old buildings, their history, their stories, the reinventions necessary to carry them into the future. And of course, we love new buildings, their shapes, their challenges, their ever resourceful solves. Storefront to skyscraper, we're passionate about buildings. We get sweaty just thinking about them. Experience, the original. As the oldest, longest running publication in the industry, there's nothing we haven't seen and little we haven't covered. We were here when the Empire State Building went up. We wrote stories about it on typewriters and set them using California job codes. Our presses were running when Frank Gehry was born and when he died. We were here to provide building owners and managers advice on the Spanish flu, as well as COVID-19. We are the voice of experience in an industry that's seen phenomenal change, and that matters. Trust. Our readers and advertisers trust us. It's a trust born from a history of leadership and ethics, both work and moral ethics. Our readers trust that our content is well-researched and our expertise deep. Our readers trust our judgment in choosing the most important product innovations of the year. People across the building trades turn to us for reliable, trustworthy answers to pressing questions of all kinds. We take this responsibility seriously and do our very best to earn it. So these pillars that I just read to you, passion, experience, and trust, helped us to craft our new brand promise, which reads as follows. Our curiosity for and long love affair with buildings makes us passionate champions for the structures themselves, for the people who spend their lives designing, building, maintaining, managing, and improving them, and for the community created in this beautiful intersection of form and function, art and commerce. So in other words, we as a media brand are laser focused on one thing, which is stated in our new centering idea, building passion. What this means to us is that our rebranding effort isn't disregarding the past at all. It's about renewing our focus and celebrating the rich legacy and relationship that we have with buildings and the people who own, design, and operate them. So we want to breathe new life into the pages of the magazine, both in how it looks and how it reads, which I'll talk about next. So this is an example of our mood board that will serve as a kind of lens through which we can see buildings afresh. So these powerful and intriguing images help to illustrate the way we'll approach content moving forward. Of course, we're always going to be informational. That will absolutely never change. But we also want to strive to be a little more aspirational and inspirational as well. So whether it's through artful photography, like you see here, conceptual renderings, or engaging infographics, we know there's more than one way to tell a story, and there's always more than one side to it. So you can see some of the inspiring quotes that guided us in our thinking on this page, such as, "It takes a village to make a building," and the famous line from Winston Churchill, "We shape our buildings. Thereafter, they shape us." So this new expression of our brand will most notably and powerfully be seen on our covers. So as you can see, and Stephen will talk more about this a little bit later on, this is a massive and bold departure from the buildings covers you're used to seeing. And here's why we think this is a good thing. First of all, you can't help but notice what we've done with our logo. We're turning this brand on its head, or on its side rather, because it so beautifully mimics the vertical movement and stature of buildings. And the font selection was also very intentional. We chose a classic serif font that's also a slight nod to our history in publishing. The photography is just as bold and beautiful, celebrating the amazing details that go into the creation of buildings and architectural structures. And of course, we also want to bring the human element into it as well, as you can see here in the center image, because we can't forget that without people, we'd have no need for buildings in the first place. And as we move into the inside pages of the magazine, this is an example of what an article might look like next year. So here we're seeing an artist or designer's conception or rendering of what a building might look like in the future. It's almost cathedral-like in its aesthetic, and this is a powerful way to illustrate the importance of something like daylighting strategies, which research and our own reporting on the topic over the years have shown that are so important to occupants and to their health, which couldn't be more relevant than right now. And here's another example of what an article might look like as we move forward. As you can see, our intention is to let the photographs and the renderings be as much a part of the story as the copy, leaving plenty of room for white space for maximum impact and readability. So again, with the goal of providing information, aspiration, and inspiration, this is how we see it reflected in the pages of the magazine next year throughout the thoughtful design and layout that appeals to both the eye and the intellect. And lastly, Along with our print issues, we're also in the process of revamping our website to better reflect our new brand identity online. And this is an example that our branding firm Thornburn came up with of how these digital platforms might look. So this isn't an exact representation, but it does give you an idea of how we intend to make sure we have a consistent look and feel across all of our channels. So this is obviously a much cleaner and simpler approach to our web and mobile platforms. And we're already in the process of getting our site built and optimized for a much better and smoother user experience. And the fact I want to drive home and make clear here is that we aren't just a print magazine, even though we have a long and rich history in print publishing. We have many other resources in our arsenal, which Stephen will be talking to you about next. And so I'm going to turn things back over to my charming and talented wingman, Mr. Stephen Sloan.
Thanks, Rob. That's very kind of you. I have no power to give you a raise, so I appreciate it nonetheless. And thanks for the overview there. This slide here shows where we are right now. This is the market. These are our competitors. This is who we play with. And I argue to say we are going leaps and bounds ahead. I think it really demonstrates our passion for buildings, how they're built, what makes them work, and how best to operate them. Big, bold, and now very different from anything else in the market. As Rob pointed out, we started as a print magazine more than a century ago. Print is still an important component, as evidenced by hours of reader feedback, but we've grown our brand universe to connect you with your customers, our readers, wherever you need or want, on the web, on LinkedIn, in person at events, through podcasts, in the magazine, helping you understand their needs through research, and creating custom content that you can use with us or anywhere. We're a trusted source for our readers, and in turn, a trusted partner for you to help connect with them. You'll see in 2021 new product offerings, which will allow you to connect with your customers while continuing to demonstrate our love of all things buildings. Products like our partnership with the HKS philanthropic arm, Citizen HKS, on a project build out in Richmond, Virginia, to our live event, Buildings Connections, which will take the concept in early stages of CoreNet to a whole new level. The Buildings brand and universe continues to grow, as well as our readership. It continues to grow. Our audience department has been very active in their development of our readership across all platforms, reaching a universe of 115,000 plus buildings professionals, property managers, architects, facility managers. Just imagine the impact on your business if you could build meaningful connections with just a fraction of that audience. We can help you do that. So I personally welcome the opportunity to connect with each of you in the coming weeks to chat about your challenges and how we might be able to help as we move out of the dumpster fire known as 2020 and into the new bright 2021. So expect a call or email from me in the coming weeks. Before we wrap things up, if you have questions, you can pop them into the Q&A section there. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. But now for the best part, the part where we give free stuff away, which you probably saw in the email invitation to join us. 2 lucky attendees will win a free full page ad in our launch issue, which will be the January-February 2022-21 issue. And one extra lucky individual will get a $250 Amazon gift card. So a couple items for your company and one for you, which you don't have to share with your company. So drum roll, please. Rob will be my Vanna. All right, so one of the full page ads. We have Jerice Kovali, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. Jerice, I think I even saw you, you were on the call. So free full page ad, Jan Feb, congratulations. And the second full page ad, Julie Stebick. Julie Stebick. Congratulations. And now the $250 Amazon card. What do we got? Shannon Dark from HL Strategy. Congratulations. So there's the free stuff everybody loves. Rob, I can't tell. Have we gotten any questions that we need to answer here?
No, Jerice was very excited to win though. Wow, yay, so that's good. Yeah, if anybody has any questions for us. One of the things I think maybe we forgot to point out that we could mention is, so for editorial pitches, you can continue to send those to our editor-in-chief, Janelle Penny, or to myself. We'll both be accepting those for the rest of this year and next year as well. So feel free to reach out to us at any time if you have editorial pitches you want to send our way. So
yeah, and along with that, we have a new sort of mood board that provides inspiration for image photography that you're going to be submitting. So we'll share that with everyone as well, along with the editorial calendar for both our events, our e-handbooks, and our print issues. So we'll make sure everyone has that along with file transfer instructions and Rob and Janelle and Adrian's contact information. So we'll follow up with that information after the call.
We do have a question, Stephen. You said Buildings was a hub. What did you mean by that? That's a great question. I think with all the resources and platforms and channels that we have, whether it's through the print or social media or research, Buildings is going to be the place that connects the people that own and build and manage commercial buildings. So we want to be that focal point of contact to communicate information between all these stakeholders. So I think that's kind of what we're getting at there. Hopefully that answers your question. Any other questions? Where is the Thornburn Group located?
They are in Minneapolis.
Correct.
This process of going through a rebrand, which I'm sure many of you have done for your own brands, is very interesting. You have to look at all of your warts and your strengths and really take an honest approach to who you are, who you want to be. And Bill Thorburn and his team did a great job of holding the mirror up to us and then distilling what our strengths were and what our weaknesses were, and really coming out with this new look and feel and position that I think captures who we have always been, but also where we want to be now that we're all grown up.
So Stephen, we have a couple of questions that came in while we were speaking. Somebody asked to show the cover, and it looks like we have that up. They wanted to see that again. Another is, do you have a breakdown of audiences, owner versus developer, etc.?
We do, and it's not on that sheet there, but we have a very thorough audience report that I can also share with everyone who's on this call. So you have that as well. It'll have the breakdown of audiences, type of buildings that people are owning and managing. We have all of that, and I can share that with everyone.
And one other one, Stephen, I know you will love this on the sales side. Somebody asked, can I get pricing for a full page ad?
Yes, you may. Or
Yes.
If you're friends with Jerice or Julie, you can try to get one of them to give you their free ad. All right. Well, I think that's everything. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time out of your very busy schedule for joining us today. We will be in touch.
Stephen?
Oh,
sorry. Somebody asked if we had a sister publication. Yes, we do. We have one in the commercial building space that's called Interiors and Sources Magazine that is focused on commercial interior design and goes to interior designers and architects as well. And so we have a lot of cross collaboration between the two brands. So you'll see content from both, and we've been putting out, for example, e-handbooks that talk to both audiences. So yes, we definitely do. And we have another publication in the meeting space called Meetings Today. So thanks for that question.
All right. That's it, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. We will be in touch soon, as I said. Until then, stay safe and stay sane. And thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone.